Most English learners say things like this: I got a visa last year. The government did a study about this. This graph shows the problem clearly. Blech. Yes, these sentences are correct, but they sound a little basic. Now listen to these sentences that advanced speakers use. I obtained a visa last year. The government conducted a study about this. This graph clearly demonstrates the problem. Same meaning, but the verbs are much stronger. And those stronger verbs are exactly what separates intermediate English from advanced English. So in this video, I'm going to show you 12 verbs that instantly make your English sound more impressive, more powerful, more precise, and more advanced. Are you ready? In this video, I'm going to show you how to stop using these basic verbs: get, make, do, say, think, show, and start using more advanced verbs that allow you to express your ideas more precisely. Now, of course, these simple verbs work fine, and we use them all the time in English. But if you want to sound more advanced, more formal, and just a little bit more intellectual, use these powerful, precise verbs, especially in situations where you want to show that you have a rich vocabulary and that you have a great level of English and that you can express your ideas clearly in English. Now, I'm going to show you 12 of these verbs in this video, but I've also created a special PDF, and in that PDF I'll give you these 12 plus 18 more, so 30 in total. In that PDF I've also included a short test so you can practice using these naturally and start internalizing them so that they become part of your everyday English. So yeah, you can click up there to get it, you can scan the code, or you can click the link in the description. Okay, 12 advanced verbs. Let's go. I want you to watch the full video and then tell me in the comments how many of these 12 words you already knew. So let's start by looking at a few ways we can avoid using the basic verb get, with more advanced options instead, like deteriorate, acquire, and adapt. Okay, so instead of saying get worse, we're going to use deteriorate. This means to become worse, or that the quality or condition becomes worse. For example, his health began to deteriorate after the accident, or the situation quickly deteriorated during the meeting. We're also going to stop using get and use acquire. And we use this for skills, knowledge, and also companies buying other companies or buying things. For example, he acquired excellent English after living in London, or the company acquired several smaller businesses. Okay, in other words, they bought and then owned those smaller businesses. And finally, instead of get used to, we're going to use the word adapt. Okay, which is great for life situations. So instead of it took me a few months to get used to life in Spain, you can say adapt. It took me a few months to adapt to life in Spain. Or children usually adapt quickly to new schools. Okay, as I said, there are more in the PDF, but now let's have a look at a few ways that we can stop using make. And we're going to do this with words like enable, facilitate. So when we're talking about making possible, use the word enable. Very common in academic and professional English. For example, the new system enables students to learn faster. Okay, instead of it makes it possible for students to learn faster. Good planning enables teams to avoid problems. Okay, it makes something possible. Now, if we want to make something easier, then we can use facilitate. For example, these exercises facilitate faster learning. Okay, they make it easier. They make faster learning easier. The teacher asked questions to facilitate discussion, to make discussion easier. Okay, remember you can get all of these plus 18 other advanced verbs, 30 in total, plus the test to make sure that you've learnt them perfectly in the free PDF. Okay, you can either scan the code down there or click one of the links in the description. Okay, so we've already looked at a few ways to avoid get and avoid make. Let's have a look at how to avoid do with verbs like conduct, implement, or undertake. So instead of do research, conduct. Okay, conduct research. Great verb for advanced level learners. Scientists are conducting research into climate change. The police will conduct an investigation. Okay, so it's great for research and investigation. Don't use do, use conduct. When we're talking about doing a plan, instead of using the basic verb do, use the word implement. Okay, implement. Great for business English use. So this company plans to implement new safety measures. Schools will implement the new curriculum next year. Okay, and another good one for business is instead of doing a project, undertake. Okay, so undertake a project. For example, she undertook a difficult project at work, but you could specify what type of project. Like the government plans to undertake major reforms. All right, instead of the basic verb say, let's use the verb state. And this basically means to say very clearly. And it's very common in formal speaking and formal writing. The report clearly states the problem. He stated his opinion during the meeting. Okay, so to say very clearly. State. Okay, I have a few other ways to avoid say in the PDF worksheet, but let's move on now to think. Let's not use think, because if you think deeply about something, you contemplate it. Okay, you think really deeply for a long time. And by using contemplate, we express that more precise meaning of the verb. So we can say she is contemplating a career change. Okay, if you change your career, it's not just a decision you make like that, like what can I have for lunch today? No, it's a big, deep, long decision. So we use contemplate. He sat quietly, contemplating his future. Again, thinking deeply about his future. Okay, show. We're going to avoid show, which is a basic verb, and use demonstrate or highlight instead. So demonstrate, this is very common in explanations. Like the teacher demonstrated how the machine works. Okay, so she's explaining it, but also physically showing you how to do it. Okay, she's giving a demonstration, so we use the verb demonstrate. The teacher demonstrated how the machine works. This example demonstrates the problem. Okay, so you can just look at an example which will demonstrate, which will show the problem. And if you want to show the importance of something, then we use the verb highlight. This pen, this type of pen is a highlighter. You use it to highlight some text to make it more important, to make it stand out, to show the importance of it. This is a highlighter. Use the verb highlight instead of show importance. So the report highlights the need for change. Okay, it really shows the importance of the need for change. This example highlights a common mistake. Okay, now how many of these verbs did you know? Let me know in the comments, and remember you've got a summary with all of these verbs plus 18 other more advanced verbs that you can start using immediately to sound more advanced and to stop using basic verbs, the verbs that everybody uses. And this is the kind of vocabulary that you need to reach an advanced level of English. But here's a question. What type of grammar do you need to know? Well, I'll tell you that in that video there. Oh, and hit the subscribe button if you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.